Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play The Binding of Isaac, Wrath of the Lamb Edition. So, I'm post-commentating again, and this one's a really dumb story. Long story short, I was trying to record some DayZ, and I was planning on doing post-commentary on that. That didn't work out either, due to technical issues with DayZ. I'm not able to log in right now, blah blah blah. Anyway, I left my microphone off, and recorded an entire episode of Isaac instead when I couldn't get into DayZ. So here I am, really upset about that because, and look at how much money I just got there. Oh man. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about the recording, but anyway, so this is Isaac Was Good to get today, the 9th challenge, and it looks like we start out with the Holy Grail as well as the Halo, which is great. Holy Grail is a health upgrade as well as the ability to fly, whereas the Halo is all stats up, including health and damage, which is huge. And here I saw that tinted rock. I remember being like, oh, too bad I don't have a bomb, and then in this room I was like, oh, what an idiot, I do have a bomb, so I'm going to go back there in a second and blow that up. But anyway, that chest there, that gave me, what, like 16 cents just from that? That was huge. This is an incredible floor here, because look at this, we get a damage up right off the bat from that tinted rock, as well as a spirit heart. We already started off with 5 hearts, so I mean, we're doing pretty well. I feel like this is one of the more stacked challenge runs, though you do have to get all the way to Satan on this one. You don't just beat Mom's Heart and win. But still, I feel like this is one of the more fun and easy challenges to complete. So we're already, like, a few rooms into the first floor. We've gotten 17 cents. We have a bomb and a key, and 5 hearts and a damage up. We walk in here and get Mom's purse right away, which is cool. It doesn't come in useful like super quickly because, you know, Mom's purse, if you don't remember, just gives you the ability to hold 2 trinkets, but I feel like that's a very powerful item if you can get the trinkets, and spoiler alert, later on I do get the trinkets, and I feel like that was an asset to my loadout here. And right away we get the push pin. If you don't remember what that does, it's like randomly, it seems like every like once in 5 tiers or so, you get a tier that has both piercing and spectral. So it's like in a Metroid game getting the wave beam and the plasma beam. It just goes through anything you can conceive of. So here I am fighting Steven, and I was mentioning through this boss fight, like, I'm gonna try to get another damage up on this floor. And the way you do that is, like, you have a very good chance if you beat the big guy first, you'll probably get Little Steven, and if you beat the little guy first, you'll probably get Steve. Little Steven is a follower who has homing shots, and while Steve is a damage upgrade, and obviously I prefer the damage upgrade. So my strategy here was make the big guy tired, and then while he's sitting there, kill the little guy, and that's way easier to do when you have flight. So you can see I took out the little guy first very easily, and there's my Steven. So 2 damage upgrades on the first floor already, plus getting Mom's purse. Got super stacked super early in this game, and you'll see that continues for a little while. I'm just getting insane upgrades, and here we go right away. Go into the curse room and pick up Book of Belial and the Pact right away. The Pact is, I believe, 2 tiers up, 1 damage up, and 2 spirit hearts, whereas the Book of Belial, obviously you're probably all familiar with that, is Judas' starting item. Every 3 rooms you are, well, it charges in 3 rooms, and on the room you use it, I believe it doubles your damage, maybe it's 1.5, but either way it gives you significantly more damage for the duration of the room. Super useful. 2 of diamonds, which I just picked up there, is something I'm going to be hanging on to for a while because its function is it doubles the amount of money you're currently holding. So if you save that until like right before you make a big purchase, then you can get quite a bit of money out of it, and spoiler alert again, that is what ends up happening. So I'm saving it for the right moment, either until I find a better card or until I have a ton of money and I'm about to spend some of it. We'll blow up this tinted rock for another couple spirit hearts, doing super well on health despite trading away 3 hearts in that deal with the devil room, which is huge. And yeah, I absolutely stand by my decision to spend those hearts on the deal with the devil room, because like I always say, damage is key in beating Isaac, and that hasn't changed at all in Wrath of the Lamb. If you can get your damage up to the point where you're killing things quickly, having health is not as important, because the longer you spend in a room, the more likely it is to take damage. So spending those 3 hearts on the ability to both use the Book of Belial on bosses, and oh man, Onion is so good, that doubles your tears rate. So all of a sudden I've got all this damage. You remember I got 2 damage ups on the previous floor, plus the Pact, so I am stacked right now. Second floor, I'm like, basically the only way I could be doing better is if I had picked up something like a Dr. Fetus right off the bat. So I pop Book of Belial here, fight this new boss I'm not familiar with, the Cursed Ovum I think it was, and just no threat whatsoever, especially because his gimmick is to use a Steve reskin that drops creep, and if you can fly, he's just a, like, or not a Steve reskin, a Gemini reskin, so if you can fly, like, he's basically not a problem at all, and as we saw, that was indeed the case. I just blasted through that guy with my absurd amount of damage. The Book of Belial is huge for bosses here. We'll pop open this chest, and I check here one more time after I've taken out some of these silkworms to make sure, and yes, indeed, they have patched the ability to leave rooms. Just that eyeless news guy just spawned right on top of me. Come on, man. Like, what am I gonna do? I think that might have been the first damage I took all game, but maybe not. I think I've probably taken a little bit of damage before that, but no, maybe not. I think that was the first damage I took, was just an ooze guy just spawning right in my face. No opportunity to move whatsoever, but you know what, big deal, because I'm still doing fantastically on health. And yeah, I couldn't believe how stacked I got so early in this game. Getting 15 cents on the first floor is incredible in and of itself. Getting 2 damage ups on the first floor, like, man, that's really good. And then of course that deal with the Devil Room I cleaned up. And yeah, so we'll head into the shop here. I think, yeah, I head into the shop because I, you know, had the keys. I had 6 keys. So now I'm thinking, okay, do I want to give it up for Book of Revelations? I'm thinking probably. So my plan right now is, if I can get 15 cents together, I'll grab Book of Revelations. If not, you know what, Book of Belial is a great spacebar item, so whatever. Take out these leapers, which are unusual to see on the Caves Part 1, but certainly not unheard of, and certainly not as bad as the catacombs, I would say. We'll head into the library here. I wasn't expecting much, and indeed, you know, Necronomicon and Monster Manual. Decent items in their own right, but certainly not a Book of Belial killer in any respect. Thank God I can fly on this room, because man, that is one of the rooms that pisses me off so much. I may have been able to get out there with my current damage, but you need really exceptional damage to get out of that room without taking damage. It doesn't matter how good you are. You're in a 1 lane and there's a silkworm coming at your face. If you don't have the damage to take it out, there's literally nothing you can do about it. And I don't like rooms like that. I feel like there should always be a way. We picked up 2 spirit hearts and 3 suicide flies just from that curse room. It took us half a heart to do it. Definitely worthwhile. I decided against that one because I just have not been impressed with my results from those spike rooms. Even if you get it on the first try, like a spirit heart for a chest, it's okay, but you know, it's certainly not a guaranteed thing either, so you have to think about that. Pestilence, no chance whatsoever. I'm still, at the way I'm stacked here, these early bosses have no shot against me. You're not supposed to be this powerful this early in the game. So, you know, he couldn't stand up to me at all. I took him out, I think, before he spawned a single silkworm. We'll head into the shop right away with 5 keys, and here's Greed, who will give us some money after killing him, so definitely worthwhile. And there he goes, with all this damage. Again, not a huge problem at all. It's like, what, 8 cents or so? Pretty good. Up to 14 cents, so on the next shop I'm thinking I'm probably going to be able to get some kind of upgrade. I don't remember at this point. I recorded this episode a little while ago. I went to the Avengers after recording it, so I didn't have time. Great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Highly recommend it, but make sure you see all of the previous Avengers movies first. Though I'm sure, like, I watched that movie very late, so I'm sure most of you have already seen it. But doing okay on the catacombs here. Again, just, I'm so stacked for this point in the game that these enemies have no chance, which is surprising given my lack of item rooms. I just got super lucky with, like, those early damage ups, and the deal with the Devil Room really sealed it. Like, at that point, I felt like if I had been able to teleport to Shoal, I probably would have been okay. I wouldn't bet my life on it, and I probably would have chosen against it if I had the chance. But if somehow there was a glitch where I got put on Shoal on the next floor after the basement part 2, probably would have done alright. So obviously all this catacombs level stuff is no problem at all. Head onward here. Have some mobile Epicac nubs as well as a stationary Epicac nub, which again just feels like a really strange thing to call somebody on Call of Duty. It's like, you fucking Epicac nub. If you want to confuse a 14-year-old, buy Modern Warfare 2 and start calling people Epicac nubs. I would endorse you if you did. This was dumb. I was torn between run away from the troll bomb and just get the hell out of the room, so I ran away a little ways and then ran back toward it to leave the room and got tagged. But I believe I saved half a heart, or not saved, but I only took 1 heart of damage rather than a heart and a half I probably deserved by going out of the room while I was still damage invincible. Took a dumb hit from a sexual organ fly there, no big deal. There's my Book of Revelations. So I'm deciding, use it once, and then grab Book of Belial, go back to the boss room, and use Book of Belial, and then take Book of Revelations, because I do feel like that's overall a better spacebar item, especially with how powerful I am. I don't feel like I really need Book of Belial to get out of bosses too much, so having Book of Revelations is going to allow me to stack even more health and do even better, and that's a decision I stand by. So here's the Hollow, which should be super easy, and indeed, spoiler alert, I didn't have too many problems here. Almost got tagged there, but managed to get out of it. My favorite strategy so far for taking out the Hollow in a room like this with all these rocks getting in your way is just to hang out in the top lane. No reason for the top lane, it could be the bottom lane as well, and then just tear into them as they're coming up and turning around. We got Mom's coin purse here, which is not one of my favorite boss drops that give you 4 pills. But we did get 2 range ups out of there, so we have absurd range. This is, of course, a bad trip pill, but, you know, and that's why I don't like it so much. You know, a boss drop where you can get bad stuff is kind of meh. Here I had a real moral dilemma. I was like, well, not moral dilemma, a real dilemma. Should I give up all my hearts and get Bloodlust, or get the Ouija board? I'm still not sure if I made the right call there, but you know, it's a tough one. Bloodlust is just a really good all-around effect to have. That, if you don't remember, it's Samson's innate ability to get more damage the more enemies you kill in a room. So in some rooms you just get incredibly stacked. Whereas the Ouija board in combination with flight is huge. You can sit on top of a rock and shoot out, and any kind of enemy that is like using bullets on you or trying to come into physical contact with you, they have no chance unless they can fly as well and can get on top of you. But I ended up going with Bloodlust because that's one of my favorite effects. I got tagged there because I was afraid to go too near the fire because those fires shoot. But it was dumb because I ended up taking a full heart, whereas the fire would have only taken a half heart. But whatever, those split-second decisions, split-second decisions are tough, man. I've seen some shit in Isaac. And here, I believe, yeah, I decided to look for the secret room because there's only 1 room bordered by 3 rooms, but no go, it's somewhere else. And I feel like that's a really tricky mechanic because you really, at this point, unless you find the secret room by accident, you have a very low chance of being able to successfully locate it with the number of places it can be. It's really important to have like an X-ray goggles or a map or something so you can see it yourself. We've got Curse of the Labyrinth on the depths, so we're fighting both depth floors at once, which is kind of shitty, especially on a challenge run, because that's my last 2 shops combined into 1 shop, and then so I'll only get 1 opportunity to trade my money away. And especially with that 2 of diamonds, that sucks, because I had enough to clean out 2 shops easily. But we'll only get the 1, no big deal. I'm already obviously doing enough damage that I didn't feel nervous about that. I'm gonna take a little drink here. I feel like I'm maybe overly talkative in these post commentaries because, you know, I don't have to focus on my gameplay, I just have to talk about it. so I feel like I do a better job talking, but also it's tough on my throat to talk this rapidly for this long. But whatever. It sucks that, you know, the thing that pisses me off most about losing a recording is, like, I wouldn't have minded just doing this run and then recording my voice afterwards, but, like, talking during a run really makes it more difficult to play, I gotta say. Like, that might sound like an excuse to you, but it's true. Mom's Pearl, I think, is just a, it makes it more likely to find Mom's items, is what I've read. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Not super good. So anyway, we've ended up in one of these super mob trap rooms that have you, they guarantee an item but have you fight 3 bosses, and we got Stim Cell, which is a straight HP up. And I took some dumbass damage on that chub fight, man. It's painful watching this in retrospect. That was not good. But anyway, I looked it up, and apparently the deal with these, I remember I was confused about these for a long time. The deal with the super mob trap rooms is you need to either have half a heart or less remaining, or you have to have never taken damage on the floor before finding that room. So, because I had converted all of my hearts into spirit hearts, I was able to go in. But yeah, they're especially difficult to visit. I was surprised by how stringent those qualifications are. But, you know, whatever. So I finally made it into one naturally, which is great, because you can't just fly in and out of these rooms anymore. Which is super unfortunate, because I'm going to miss being able to visit these most of the time. But, you know, unless you find them early in the floor, it's not too likely to be on a floor where you've never taken damage before. But anyway, taking out these guts is no big deal. Oh, but anyway, I was talking about commentary. I feel like I commentate better when I'm not trying to play at the same time, and I also play a lot better when I'm not trying to commentate at the same time. So, like, I feel like I'm getting all the disadvantages of the post-commentary, but none of the advantages, because, you know, I have to do the commentary twice, and my gameplay here is still suffering because I was, like, saying things, and who knows what they were at this point. I sure don't remember. But, you know, I wish I had just known ahead of time that the commentary was going to be fucked, so I could focus on my gameplay and put together a really good run where I have some solid strategy going on. But anyway, doing okay, but I've taken a lot of dumbass damage. I remember commenting on this during the run too. Like, I was getting nervous for a little while that I was gonna fuck my run up, because I was just not doing well for the first part of this depths floor. And there's another dumb hit, man. And those brains, I believe, do a full heart of damage. So down to only 5 hearts, and when I came into this floor, I had a lot of hearts saved up. So that's unfortunate, especially for just the depths. Like, it's understandable to lose that much to the womb, but on the depths, it's kind of, I don't know, it's pretty iffy. So I did use half heart on the blood bank there, because there were more hearts on the screen, so you might as well. Hoping for blood bag here. And hopefully not something like an IV bag, which is much less useful than the blood bag. I hate that you're able to get items besides the blood bag now, because that makes it so much more iffy to gamble on the blood bank. Because it used to be, if you win on the blood bank, then you get all of your hearts back, and that's huge. So I decided to forego Mom's Pearl for both the push pin and the goat hoof. The goat hoof is, it makes random ones of your shots, like maybe 1 in 5 again, larger, and thus do more damage. I think it might be double damage on that shot. So it's effectively a damage up, but a slightly randomized one. Which is useful, and I like it a lot more than Mom's Pearl, which I believe, again, the wiki states that it just gives you, what does it give you? A higher chance of getting Mom's items. So I found the High Priestess card and decided that was as good a time as any to pop my 2 of diamonds. It was kind of the gun on the wall that had been sitting there since very early in the game. But that gave us, what, 34 cents? Which is a lot of money to get from a card. So I'm glad I hung on to that. Up to 69 cents. Haha, man. 69 jokes, right? That's high class humor. So these guys have no chance. I'm just going to hang out over this pit, and they'll commit suicide. I think one piercing shot basically took them all out while they were in ooze state, which was nice timing. And here is another blood bank, which is interesting, and immediately pick up the blood bag, which is huge. So that gives us another HP up, and we can start using that to carry more health to the other blood bank. Again, not interested in trading spirit hearts for a small chance at a chest. Thank you very much. Still, I feel like that room is really imbalanced, or either that or I've been very unlucky every time I've gotten it. Because I have no intention of spending hearts on that, unless I'm in a situation where like I'm living off red hearts and I found one of those womb rooms that is full of hearts, like those secret rooms. Then I might, you know, pump some in there if I have the bombs to make it worthwhile to go in and out of that heart room repeatedly. I was surprised that I had cleared out this bottom right corner of the map without finding the shop. I got really unlucky with that. It turns out it's in that little like middle bottom area. So even though my strategy with this is to hug the edges of the map, I still managed to complete the entire map without ever finding the shop, basically. This is kind of a shitty room. I hate rooms that combine zombies and leapers because, you know, by themselves these are two very difficult enemy types. Together they can be a huge pain, but obviously flight makes it way easier. Without flight in this room I would have taken some significant damage, I think, at least 2 or 3 hits. Nice contrast to that room. A room full of guts is no problem at all. And here's 4 leapers, oh my god. I think I get out of this one alright? Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. I made a dumb dodge there. I thought he had jumped earlier than he had, so I was thinking that he was going to a different place. He backed right into him. Taking out Larry Jr. here, which would be super easy. Another Book of Revelations charge. We're heading into the very last corner where the shop could be, pretty much. No, yeah, absolutely the very last corner. So I did end up pretty much cleaning out this floor, which was not my intention. I was trying to just bum rush the shop and then hit the boss, and of course the shop was in the very last place I could look. But with 72 cents it would be a huge shame to miss out. Troll bomb, see you later. And of course we have to fight a few more leapers before finally finishing up this marathon depths extra large floor. There we go. Hop into the arcade. I guess I decided to pump some hearts into the blood bank before visiting the shop, because here's our 3rd blood bank on this floor, which is absurd. And I'll just basically spend all the red hearts I can on that thing because, you know, why not? I've got tons of spirit hearts backing me up. And of course we see Notch's pickaxe, and I decide to buy it and then get the Book of Revelations back, because that's the first time I've seen that item on my account, but I've seen it in other Let's Plays, and it's essentially, it's a 1-room charge that you can use to break a rock. So you push spacebar and you're holding it above your head, and then you walk on a rock and it breaks, like the nail, but you can only use it on 1 rock, and then you have to go back and charge it again. So not super great when I have 13 bombs. Like, you know, I see its major use if you have flight as just blowing up tinted rocks and saving a bomb. Much rather have the Book of Revelations, like much rather. Pick up this half heart and feed it into another blood bank, because why not? Again, tons of spirit hearts on the screen, or maybe I'm not gonna feed it into a blood bank. I seem to remember. Okay. So I'm fighting Monstro 2 here, who is like, basically, if you can just get this guy lasering, he's super easy, but you have to watch out for those bomb flies, or those like exploding flies, basically, because they'll, it's really easy to get distracted from goading Monstro's laser while you're trying to dodge bullet fly projectiles. And if you do mess up there, then he can easily start jumping again. Okay, here's where I go back to the blood bank, and with 3 hearts, I'll just feed all of that in there. I've got spirit hearts off the screen, so I don't feel too bad about risking it all to hopefully get another blood bag. There's 1 heart, 2 hearts, 2 hearts. There we go. 2.5 hearts, and still nothing, but, you know, serves me right. I do decide to blow it up just out of spite, I guess. No, I was hoping to find some red hearts in there to get my health back up a little bit, but no such luck, just more money that I absolutely don't need, with 64 cents going into the womb, which is, you know, obviously there's not much use for money there. I tried to use High Priestess to stomp on Mom herself, and apparently that doesn't work. I had never known that, but, like, if you use it in the Mom room, then instead of, like, landing on your enemies, it lands on you. So, you know, don't do that. I learned that you cannot use Mom as a weapon against Mom, unfortunately. So, waste of a High Priestess card, a little bit worse than a waste, because I also lost a Spirit Heart out of it. But no big deal, still doing fantastically on health here, but, man, getting nailed by that foot. Ah, man, because, again, not very fast here, and it may look like I'm just, like, being shitty, but it's literally impossible to dodge that foot at the speed I am unless you're already moving when it starts coming down, because by the time you see the shadow, you do not have time to get out of range. The range on the foot is so high now, and speed up is so rare. I don't think I've gotten a single speed up this run, so what am I going to do, right? Bomb this guy. I thought about, like, trying to get him to walk into my tears, but that's a bad game to play. Another pretty flag gives us a full halo of stuff. I just made that guy phase through a rock and walk onto the spikes. And another Book of Revelations charge. We'll kill these guts, kill the turret. And I'm not sure how that turret died, actually. That looked a little glitchy, but I'll take it. Grab that penny and move on to the next floor, or room rather. Here's Judgment. I love this guy. 1 cent for the mulligan. Dude's a total bro. Really, like, I can't believe the deals that guy gives. How can he afford it, being a homeless baby? So just hand out mulligans for a cent. So we are fighting a new boss, the Teratoma. I guessed when I heard the name that this would be a fistula reskin because it was another medical condition, and indeed I was right. And inside all those fucking things are spiders, which freaked me out, but luckily with Bloodlust, no problem at all. I didn't get a drop there. It still thought the boss was going, which sucks. I was kind of pissed off about not getting a boss drop, but whatever. I'm already doing well enough as it was, so, you know, let's take out Mom's heart here, or it lives, rather. And I gotta remember, piercing shots just fling bombs across the room because they don't disappear, so they'll just, like, carry the bomb along with them, and that messed me up here and caused me to have to fight all those zombies. So you have to be really careful not to shoot at your bombs if you have piercing shots on the Mom's Heart boss fight. But I just kind of said fuck it, like, with all the damage I had gotten from Bloodlust, no problem whatsoever. So here's the part where I found out that you do indeed have to go down to Satan for this challenge. Man, I got super lucky on that floor. Did you see that? I just realized, like, if you look at the map, I just went in a straight line for the boss. It's like I was hacking. But yeah, I just made it directly to the 2 bosses on the Womb XL, which could have been a huge problem for me if I had to spend a lot of time in the Womb XL. So I go in there, see the what do you call it, the fortune-telling machine. I'm like, I don't feel like it, but, you know, on this room I was like, actually, maybe I should go back there, and with 65 cents, try to get a bit of a better trinket out of that fortune-telling machine. So I finish off this boss, and of course we've unlocked another secret room over that way. It's interesting how many secret rooms you can get nowadays. And pick up Epic Fetus, of course, which is awesome. It's funny, I tend to find that, well, I don't tend to. Every single time I've found that item, it has been on the last floor. But, you know, no complaints finding it now. That will make us much more effective in combat. And we'll play this, and I find out that it's not just trinkets you can get from those things. You can also get Spirit Hearts, which is huge. So we pick up a Devil card, which I like a lot better than the High Priestess. I was a little bit nervous about the High Priestess card after the, you were throwing your life away, stop gambling, yeah, fuck you. But I was nervous after the Mom debacle. I accidentally picked up the umbilical cord there. So I remember on the horse boss fight, I was like, it would be cool if I get Cancer and the Goat Hoof in conjunction with each other. But after I got the fetus, I was like, well, I don't think cancer or the goat hoof will help me out much. But I did get the Liberty Cap there, which is huge, because the Liberty Cap gives you a random mushroom effect on every level, and that some of those mushroom effects are good, man. Like, there's one that maxes your tears rate, which is obviously not good for Epic Fetus, which locks your fire rate, but there are mushrooms that give you damage up, there are mushrooms that give you, what other mushrooms? Speed and range up. So it's just an all-around good upgrade. Though now that I think about it more and more, I'm thinking maybe not so many that stack well with Epic Fetus, but I didn't know that at the time. Anyway, we also got the umbilical cord out of this machine so far, and what that does is when you get down to half a heart, it gives you a Little Steve follower. And Little Steve is not a great item. It's definitely not something worth hanging out at half a heart for, so I wasn't too enthusiastic about that. But anyway, the main reason I'm playing this machine now is to just rack up those spirit hearts. This machine seems to give an incredible number, like maybe an average of 1 in 6, 1 in 7. So if you have a lot of money like I did now, and you run into one of these on a later floor, man, so worth pumping some money into it. I had no idea that it dropped spirit hearts so frequently. But as you can see, I like doubled my effective health here, and made it so that victory against Satan was basically assured. But I'm just still pumping money in here. I'm trying to replace cancer and the goat hoof and all those other things laying around with something that'll stack with Epic Fetus. I don't remember if I get it or what. Now at this point, like, there's so much stuff surrounding the machine that I'm having trouble checking my new drops. We see that we got the tower, which fuck that. I will pick the devil back up and try to avoid actually stepping on one of these items. But there's the tick, and that's what I decided to hang on to. It stops you from picking up other trinkets in that slot, but it also takes off a chunk of a boss's health automatically. Like when you walk into a room, they'll already be damaged, which is pretty useful. Definitely more useful than any of the other trinkets in combination with Epic Fetus. And I learned that the boss room is right to the right of the secret room, because that's the only room on Shoal that you cannot bomb your way into. So even though I couldn't bomb my way that way, I learned some valuable information there. And we'll just loop around here. 4 bomb flies, no match for Epic Fetus. I said no match for Epic Fetus, come on. There we go. Still a little bit iffy with that item. Just barely snuck around that troll bomb. And fighting the Fallen first, and fucked up with both my... Or actually, it looks like I hit him. Oh no, of course, that was sick. But I fucked up with both my Epic Fetus bomb and my normal bomb on the Fallen, but no big deal. He has no chance against Epic Fetus, which is, as it turns out, a really good item to be fighting Satan with. There's tons of damage, loads of money, and yeah, just taking out Satan's second form like a boss here. Still health off the screen. I forgot to use the devil card, I just realized. I had this genius strategy of like, just nudge the button and then walk away. And if you time that correctly, because Satan stomps where you used to be, it'll just land right on his foot as it comes down, which is huge. We did unlock the counterfeit coin, which is a trinket, I believe, anyway. I assume it's a trinket because all the other coins are trinkets. We'll have to see what that does in a future episode. But anyway, Isaac was good today, crossed off. Next up, we'll be taking on the Purist run, which I assume, and this scares me a little bit, but I assume that is a run where you do not get any items to start with whatsoever, because obviously that would fit the theme of being a Purist, which means that for all of your upgrades, you would rely on boss drops, shops, mob trap rooms, judgments, and other miscellaneous sources of items. So anyway, stay tuned, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.